A customer calls a bit upset. The carpet smells like urine 3 days after your crew cleaned it. You didn't do anything wrong. Turns out, upon some investigation, the smell is from their dog returning to do his thing, what some call a quote unquote accident. It wasn't anything lacking on your part. So, as a company, as the business owner, do you apologize? Well, stick around. We're going to break down the difference between an apology that saves a customer and an apology that sinks your reputation. This is Take 5 with Cleanfax. Real talk, real lessons in just 5 minutes. So there are two kinds of sorry. And here's the thing about apologies in this business. Those two kinds of sorry are two different animals wearing the same word. There's the apology that means I made a mistake and I own it. And then there's the apology that means I hear you're upset and I care. Those are not the same conversation. And mixing them up is how good technicians turn a 5-minute fix into a 2-star review. Or a 1-star. Ooh, we don't want that. Think of it like a fire extinguisher. You've got the little one under the kitchen sink for a grease fire, and you've got the real big red one on the wall for something serious. You grab the wrong one, and you either underreact to a real problem, or you dump foam all over a pot of aggressive boiling pasta. Dinner's ruined. No one's happy. Then we have the question, when do you owe a real apology? Well, this is simple. If your technician shows up 2 hours late with no call, that's on the technician. That's on your company. Apologize for that. If a technician forgot to put a protective piece of plastic or foil under a leg of a piece of furniture and there's rust that formed, that's on you. Apologize, but fix it. We want to fix things because we know an apology with no follow-through is really just a polite way of doing nothing. Real mistakes get real apologies. No hedging, no, I'm sorry, but. Ooh, that word but shouldn't be used. It cancels out everything you just said. Just say you're sorry and then fix the problem. When you say but, there's something negative following that. But what about when you don't owe an apology? This is the flip side. The customer's mad the carpet didn't dry in the 20 minutes like the guy they saw on YouTube promised. That's not your fault. The customer's mad their cat resoiled the same spot you just cleaned. That's their cat. None of that's your fault. And apologizing like it is your fault teaches your customer that pushing back gets them a discount. That might be what they're looking for. Who knows? This is where the second kind of sorry comes in. It's called empathy, the empathy version. You're not confessing to a crime. You are going to say, I'm sorry this is frustrating. Let's figure it out together. Same word, sorry, completely different job. It's the difference between a mechanic saying, we're sorry we broke your engine, and a doctor saying, sorry you're not feeling well. One's a confession, one is just being a decent human. Then we have the middle ground trap. Watch out for the murky cases. A job that was technically done right, but the customer still isn't happy. Don't over-apologize just to make the tension go away. Every unnecessary sorry is a tiny admission of guilt in the customer's mind, and it can add up. And we don't want them grabbing a calculator and keeping score. Say it enough times for things that weren't your fault, and suddenly you're the company that always messes something up, even when you never actually have. So here's your homework assignment for the week. Before the next episode of Take 5 with Cleanfax, pull your last 10 customer complaints, the calls or the texts, whatever they are. Sort them into 2 piles. One is, we actually caused this. And the other is, we didn't, but they're still upset. If your team can't sort those calls in under 30 seconds each, that's your sign. You need a script for both kinds of apology, not just one default response for everything.